Hey guys, your Tech Admin here, and you may remember my Dell Dimension 4600 video. Well, today we're going to be taking a look at a Dell Dimension 4600C. Now, before we start, I want to say I really love how the front of this case looks. It looks awesome. The only problem is the way the ports are hidden behind this front plate. That kind of ruins the design because you'd have to basically leave this open all the time if you wanted to have anything plugged into the front of the machine, or use the disk drive or optional floppy drive at any point in time. Fortunately, the power button does actually poke through the front plate, so you wouldn't have to open it up to turn it on. Taking a quick look at the ports on the back, we have digital audio out, a parallel printer port, a VGA out, PS2 keyboard and mouse, a plethora of audio input and output ports, as well as 6 USB ports and a network jack. There's also a modem card installed from the factory. Here's a look at the information sticker on the side of the computer. As you can see here, manufacturing date of 11/10/03, so that would be November 10th, 2003. This is, of course, one of those amazing clamshell computers that Dell designed and everybody hated. So you squeeze the buttons on the side, and the entire thing opens up, kind of like a pizza box. So looking at the inside, one of the first things you might notice is that all of the capacitors are in excellent condition, and that's great considering the age of this machine, and especially the time it was manufactured. I think that was right around the beginning of the big capacitor plague, right around 2003 through about 2008, I think. You can correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not entirely sure about that. Starting at the back here, we have the PCI modem, and the processor here under the heatsink, and then the RAM. And then here you might notice this proprietary IDE cable. This is for the slimline DVD drive up here. There's also an option for a floppy disk drive that would have gone here in this slot. And then missing right here is the hard drive. So I don't have a hard drive to put in this thing, so we will boot it up to the BIOS, but I don't actually have an operating system for it. Here on the board you can actually see the second IDE slot where the hard drive would be plugged in, and then right next to that is actually a SATA port. I'm not entirely sure if it works or not, but it is there present on the board, so we'll look and see if we can find anything in the BIOS about it. Another cool thing about this board is it's mounted to a tray, so there's a quick release here that you can pull, and the entire board and tray will come out in one piece. So that's pretty handy if you need to swap the motherboard or something. Of course, here on the front we have 2 USB ports and a headphone out, as well as the power button, which is also the LED. So that's pretty cool. Alright, I've got everything hooked up and I'm ready to go. I just realized something. I have all Dell peripherals going on here. So that's pretty cool. Let's give it a power on, and F2 for the BIOS. We're running BIOS version A04. Unfortunately, this version of the BIOS doesn't support wireless keyboards, so now I've got to go dig out a proper wired keyboard in order to get into the BIOS. Okay, after just a bit of digging, I managed to find my wired USB keyboard. This is just a little cheapy keyboard that I picked up at Goodwill, but it will certainly do the job. Okay, so here we are in the BIOS. This is a 2.66 gigahertz Pentium 4 with a 512 kilobyte level 2 cache. There's the service tag if anyone is interested in looking up this machine's configuration when it left the factory. So yeah, as you can see, the machine thinks it's 2003, so it looks like the real-time clock battery is dead. Here's a look at the memory. We're running 256 megs of DDR SD RAM. It's in dual channel. It's 2 128 meg chips, and we're running at 333 megahertz. And here's a look at the CPU information. So 2.66 gigahertz and 512 kilobyte cache. So as you can see here, it does in fact support a single SATA drive, so that's pretty cool. And unfortunately, that's really all there is to it. Since there isn't a hard drive and therefore no operating system, I don't have anything else to really show off. So this machine isn't mine, just like the Gateway laptops I made a video about. It's a work computer, so very soon it will have to go back to be disposed of. Until next time, guys, take it easy.